If you are ready, your time starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm from Boston. People know me from Birds of Paradise or Baldwin Bar. Those are my bar homes. Before we get started today, I just want to start with my inspiration behind this cocktail. It was originally, we're closing up the bar. It's 2 a.m. All the restaurants are closed. You probably didn't eat enough of staff meal, and you're going to eat a little bit of the garnish that you're putting away. So my favorite one to snack on was the green grapes that are kept with the lemon peels because they're bright, but it also brings out a really floral quality to them as well. And so I took that, and I'm like, what can I do with that? And then I was like, what else would I do other than a daiquiri? The bartender's handshake, the symbol in our community of, wow, we're all in the weeds right now. It's time for a daiquiri timeout. It's time for a snackery. We need a safety meeting. And of course, I thought of Flor de Caña 12. With that, I moved on to my next ingredient, which was the chamomile. I thought chamomile paired really well with Flor de Caña 12 because it brings out the honey and the vanilla and the wood notes that the 12-year rum has. As far as my research and design brought me, I started to think about witchcraft, and I would like to take you all on that journey with me. So I live in Salem, Massachusetts, which is the spooky capital. If you go around this time of year, it is a nightmare, and you can't drive anywhere or do anything. So I originally sourced the chamomile from a place called Artemisia Botanicals in Salem. They sell all sorts of divination and magical things. The witch trials were in 1682, and a lot of the witchcraft of that time was derived from Catholicism. So all these aspects came out of Catholicism, but all the Catholics said, this is diabolism, this is evil, and it transferred cultures. And so not only do we see that in Salem, but we also see it in South America. Nicaragua specifically, there is a capital, Diriamo, the witchcraft capital of Nicaragua, and a lot of those practices are still in place as well. And all of these things affect our culture. So when you think about culture and you think about rituals and you think about origins, it's something that speaks to all of us in all capacities. In bartending, in our daily life, how we grew up and the things that we do and the things that we drink. One thing that plays into all of that is obviously the aspect of sustainability. And we think about the things we do every day in bartending and how can we make these cocktails that we can continue to make with the freshest ingredients with the most zero waste. So in making this daiquiri, I started with an oleo. So I took lemon peels and I took peeled green grapes and I let them sit in sugar until the sugar was dissolved. So with that, you kind of have a very bright syrup, and that uses the peels and it uses some of the grapes to kind of give it that floral quality that you get. And then obviously I took the lemons and I juiced them for the juice. But the most exciting part of the cocktail, and also part of the sustainability, is I took the grape skins and the lemon pits and I turned them into a tincture. Sustainability is important. 8 to 10% of all greenhouse gas emissions come from food waste. So it's important to eliminate that and also to build our community stronger to make a difference. It's very important that Flor de Caña does this and provides, the example for all of us to reach in food that we eat every day and cocktails that we make every day. Another fun thing about sustainability is also making it practical. So now, we are obviously making things with zero waste, but moving forward, using these things to their best of the ability. The grape skins and the pith are bitter. Instead of using bitters like Angostura or orange bitters, you take those aspects from the fruit and then you make it into your own. Same thing with the oleo. You take the brightness of the grapes and the lemon and turn that into the syrup that really acts as the brightening agent in the cocktail. And then as far as ritual goes, it's the end of the night. Everybody's in the weeds. You're getting that last push, and then you get to do last call. And then you see somebody, and they say it's time for a safety meeting. At least that's what we call it in Massachusetts, which means it's time for all of us to take a shot right now. DTOs, daiquiri timeouts, or as everybody else knows them as snackeries. It's one of our most traditional rituals, origins, something that we all come back to every night, whether it be with ourselves or making something special for our guests as well. So I'm going to get started with our daiquiri. So thinking about witchcraft and our ingredients, all of them symbolize something. Chamomile is used in all traditions for witchcraft, in doing rituals for things like wealth and good health and even romance, used in both cultures in the US and also in Nicaragua. Another ingredient that has spiritual meaning would be lemons. Lemons are used in rituals to expel depression. They are also used as a signifier of the sun, something that impacts our everyday life. And the grapes as well. The grapes represent the moon. They represent stress relief and all these other things. And to garnish, we have a little corn husk that is compostable with a little grape. In my research and design, one of the coolest things that I discovered was some Nicaraguan folklore. And one of them was my favorite, was called La Cegua. It's about a woman who lives in the woods. She is seen to have many faces, and she's regarded as pretty much a siren. She lures men in, she kills them, she has many faces. And it's also said that the truth in the culture is for women to tell their husbands why they should come home at night. Because if they stay out, then they will get taken by La Cegua. But all these small things, folklore and other things of our histories come together. And they influence us into other smaller rituals that we do in our lives, in our work, and everything else. We all have roots, we all have origins. And they are mirrored in other cultures as, we bring them on to other people and our family and our friends. So yeah, I am the emo cocktail cowgirl, and it wouldn't be my cocktail if it didn't have an emo reference. So for you, my friends, please enjoy my daiquiri, which is called Dak Board Confessional.